Hello ladies and gents, I hope that you're well. Myself and the boys have decided to issue with a trigger warning this week as this content contains topics which some viewers may find disturbing or upsetting. This week's podcast involves the discussion of sexual exploitation and predatory behaviour. Viewer discretion is advised. On a lighter note, we hope that you have a great week and this is a great start to it. So enjoy the episode. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
We are in fact interviewing a dead career, which is...
Anyway, fucking hell. Feel like I'm going to start fucking crying. Never thought about this out loud.
Hello guys and welcome back to Antisocial, the podcast. It's brought to you by the lovely guys at Adrian Flux. Now, I'm with Cam today, but we do have some sad news to... do you want to talk about it?
Well,
Are you
might
sure?
as well mention it.
Well, we've got to. We've got, obviously, you can see...
There's one less member of the Antisocial podcast, and that's because a young 36-year-old by the name Charles Donald Roxburgh William III.
Bartholomew.
That's what we used to call him. He's died. He has in fact died. How do you feel, Lewis?
They all die so young.
Yeah, they all died.
Oh,
Old Bull was his nickname down the pub. The Old Bull.
All legends fall in the making.
Yeah, they do. He was a young West Ham vlogger from Clapham.
He did die from
Diarrhea.
What the doctors would say.
You
is,
die from it in 30 countries, if anyone wants to check that.
He shat himself
He
live. He was.
I just can't cope, guys.
We were recording a podcast, and then and we went, Charlie, are you okay? Then he just let his head back.
I feel like Logan Paul laughing at a dead body, but we're not laughing.
We're in shock.
We're really not laughing.
We're in shock. The only way we can get over it is by making jokes.
If you listen closely, you can almost hear in the distance.
Have you been?
Bam!
I was going to sleep last night. It was a long day at the office, and I was just like, time for bed now, and all I heard in the distance was, Fam, I'm not old, Fam.
I just can't cope. Oh,
And then I've seen like figures like running really past.
is it sheepskin?
Whoa!
Oh my God, he's back from the dead. It's like Michael Jackson in Thriller.
Can you see him? Oh, he's reincarnated as a sheep.
Yeah, I came back.
Fucking
No, we are joking. Charlie's not dead.
Thank God you said we were joking. I thought he was actually dead. I thought I was.
It's Kim Kardashian's dad. It's a hologram.
Oh, for God's sake.
No, I think we do need to establish Charlie is not actually 36. Come on, he is 27. So
He is. What? No,
He is
24.
He is old,
Lads,
but he's
24.
still-
I'd like to just disclaimer. I'm not old. I'm 24.
Charlie, what's it like having a free bus pass?
Ah, fantastic, mate. That's why I've got grey hair.
Wayne Lineker. Must be hard times for you if watching Beach
Twice
Club.
back.
I've had enough.
He tried to breathe, but his head was underwater.
I died. I've come back for the second time today, by the way, may I add. And
I think we should mention we did record
First 20 minutes almost.
Was it 20? Yeah, almost
15,
20 minutes of this podcast, and then the cameras cut out. It was almost as if a spirit was in the room.
It was.
At that point.
It's like his fucking spirit came in through an EMP grenade and all the...
why do you mock me saying fam?
You say it so loud, like you'll say a normal sentence and you go, FAM! You just say it at an abnormal volume. FAM!
Why do I go so high? I don't do that.
Why
am I now? I get
chords?
a bit like a vibrato on it.
Should one of you introduce what we're doing today?
Oh, well, what we're doing is we're actually not interviewing the dead body. We are, in fact, interviewing a dead career, which is since obviously lockdown, we weren't too sure if we could like get guests on, but we've actually reached out, and it is true we can still get guests on. Shoots are still allowed to continue, so don't worry about that. We'll be able to get them socially distanced guests on. It is allowed. It's not against the law. It is legal.
We've messaged 50 people, and all 50 people have declined. which is
52.
52.
52.
All one for every day of the week. No, week
what?
of the year.
Yeah, clip that.
Voice.
The Cock Destroyers haven't replied yet.
No.
Oh, I really
They
want to
haven't.
get them on.
Do you know if the Cock Destroyers came on, would we need to move the table?
I think they'd have to go on
we
the
need
end.
we need to give them a little table to support.
Like a support table.
Like
just
a support
underneath.
Yeah.
for I don't
Do you
think-
reckon
I don't
that
think
these cut-out holes actually made for...
it's actually made.
They're not
for-
pregnant.
We've made this special table just for them. Can they even see the table?
on this camera,
we
you
have a
can.
new
Just
table.
shout out to
I don't know
Noah,
if
by
you
the
can.
way.
We can see you've got the lovely AS logo in the middle now, which is fucking sick.
We've got a
That's
new
awesome.
table.
Yeah.
Noah, who's done the table, also did
Yeah.
the brick walls
He's
as well.
basically our
So-
dad.
He is
Yeah,
Noah.
basically our
literally-
house dad.
Daddy Noah
We literally.
comes over and pummels me
Whoa.
when Mummy's out again.
No, he's brilliant. He's really good. He smashes it. He is literally like our dad. If we've got like he fixed our dishwasher last week. He fixed our light, but he fixes everything.
He does
And
everything.
then the
for us.
dishwasher broke and I just slipped into him. No,
I'm
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Today's the Cam Kirkham special, essentially.
is.
As a camp,
That's what we're
so
doing.
we're pretty
I
much
run out of ideas.
We're literally talking about how he like grew up, went to private school,
Basically,
went into YouTube. He went to Harrow School. We're just here to talk
I was
about
recapping
the
last
life. Did you say we're capping?
Recapping.
Oh, I thought you said I'm capping. He's capping. He's straight capping.
God almighty.
That's cap. He's capping.
Lads.
Fam, that's cap.
I don't want to be here.
That's right, mate. How are we going to kick it off?
But basically, I
on
reckon.
the kickoff. you don't get invited there anymore, do you?
No.
Basically,
talk.
we can start pretty much from the beginning. I think obviously,
of
as,
life.
well, how did you come to be, young
So
friend?
one day, my mummy bent over and my daddy just put it in.
Right, so when we recorded the last 20 minutes, he was just basically saying, I don't know if my parents want to talk to me, and now you're just giving graphic images of how it all happened. So, I mean, we're off to a different start anyway.
Yeah, we talked about...
We started to talk about how you got into YouTube videos, so maybe we just go into that.
But we did talk about I got conceived at New Year, Christmas time.
Oh, yeah, we did do that.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, about that time.
Well, do you know
So-
what your due date was supposed to be? Do you know if you were late?
I don't know. I just know that it
You were
was...
definitely a fucking early
There was
baby.
fireworks
Yeah.
going off at New Year and then my dad exploded. That's all I know. Okay, so where we're starting about the YouTube.
Yeah, let's start with YouTube. Like, what got you into making videos? What got you into basically how you got to this point, really?
So, unlike used to, I can imagine used to must have knew what YouTube was in school. Well,
I was a-
can even remember.
Yeah, it was the 1920s when I was at school. I was dealing with
He
wars.
remembers when computers started becoming a thing.
Yeah, fantastic.
When the
Cheers,
internet
lads.
became a thing in his late 30s.
Right.
I was a massive fan of YouTube from like age 10. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch YouTube at all in school. I remember all I used to do after school was just literally go home and just turn the lights off and just watch music videos in the dark.
So I swear you told me that you thought YouTube before you done it up until like 2017. You thought YouTube was just a place for football highlights. Didn't
Yeah,
you?
that's what I thought it was. Just
like,
that
like
kind-
skills and tricks and
yeah,
stuff.
because I remember, I just would never really speak about YouTube. Because I remember my mum said once that I wanted me walls painted black, so that I could literally just have a black room just to do nothing.
You were a depressed child.
I was
right?
a depressed child.
Jesus Christ, that's dark.
Jesus. I asked for a green wall because I like green.
Yeah, well, I asked for a black.
Oh, you haven't changed.
I like green.
Yeah, so basically one day at college, I went to a sport college, and then I think this kid came in with a drunken Buxton top, like Joe Weller. We discussed that, Joe Weller. And then one day, I think I went home, and I was just like, we all took the mick out of him for wearing like a drunken Buxton top. I went home, just searched Joe Weller, and then just watched his entire Internet Melt series and just all these different, like, remember the Kitty video?
Yeah.
Like stuff like
Hello,
that.
Kitty, what on earth are you doing? That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Remember watching that, and then Mini Minter. I went on to Mini Minter and watched all his The Very Best, which was a series about. It was like a George Best FIFA series, and that's weird because I feel like Mini Minter was probably one of my big things of getting into YouTube, which I think most people would say it's KSI, but I didn't really watch much of KSI. I went to Mini Minter first, which is unlike most of YouTube. So yeah, I think that's how it kind of came about, where I discovered it. And people like Chris MD, and we said earlier about my first video was a slip and slide video.
From Roti Show.
And do you want to...
Pretty much, I seen. Cam was like, "Oh yeah, I did a slip and slide video," and I promoted it on a Roti Show video. Then he shows me it, and it was like, This is a really good slip inside video, Harry. You know what's even better though? The one on my channel that I just uploaded. And then I was like, oh,
shameless.
There was like loads of replies, like 20, because most people just say like F off, like stop being like,
oh yeah, I remember it got like 40 dislikes after that, but it got like 10k views. So I was like, fucking deal with that.
Yeah, deal with some of the dislikes.
When I used to do it, it used to be the same. I used to get like so much more views, but there'd be like 100 dislikes that'd come with it.
When you doing like Call of Duty videos?
And FIFA. And FIFA was a bit of both. You know, I was a bit of a hybrid.
Did you get a lot of traction from doing that self-promo stuff? Because we went through before, so like I just don't do that. I didn't get it.
The Instagram. So what I used to do every single day, on Instagram, I'd message because you get banned after 100 DMs.
Banned?
So, like not banned from DMing people.
Oh, capped.
Yeah, capped.
Yeah,
Capped.
He's straight capping, bro.
It's talking drill again, guys.
It's fucking street, that private school lingo coming in.
Sometimes I actually wish I was dead at this point in this flat. I'll just take me up to the heavens. That's it. Just take me. Yeah, okay.
You're not going to heaven, mate.
What was I saying there?
Sorry, apologies.
The Instagram DMs.
Oh, the Instagram DMs, yeah. So I'd DM 100 people being like, what I would do, being little shit, I'd go on Will's followers, not Will, the people that liked Will's video.
You'd go into someone that does YouTube type thing.
But liked Will's photos because I'd know they'd be active. And then I'd message all like 100 people and be like, look, so you like Will and E? How would you, like, what do you think of this video? That would get us 30 subs a day, and then it would like obviously spiral. And then when I went, but like we said earlier,
you literally told me to do that. You were like, oh, hey Lewis, I've got this great trick that you need to do on Instagram, and you told me to do it, and I started doing it. So like, and every person I would DM, you would have probably DM'd them as well.
Yeah.
So like, I was so weird because, and it'd be like, hey, I know you don't know me, but I just want.
But you'd be looking fine, boo.
Oh
no,
Devil wasn't saying that.
It was probably
let me know what you think of my brand new video, and most people would just be like, "Fuck off," or some people would be like, "Oh, I liked it."
If you out of 100,
didn't never say fuck off.
Out of 100, yeah, so many. Out of 100, you'd get like 20.
But you have to have no shame, zero shame.
Yeah.
After you've done it, so the first few times you're nervous, but after you've done 10, no shame. Shame goes out the window.
There's a big thing about self-promotion. Like people say, "Oh, you're a dick if you do self-promo." No, right now with how many people are
how
doing
late
YouTube,
we got into YouTube as well.
Yeah, we got on YouTube. Like you can't just do a video and expect it to blow up. You have to do some self-promo, and like people call you a dick, but you have to do it to go.
I just find it extremely irritating. Like if someone's coming into my DM saying, "Can you watch my thing? Can you watch my thing?" Because I get it quite a lot. As in, I'm assuming you guys do as well.
But the way you message it doesn't want to be like, "Oh, can you watch it?" You'd be like, "Look, I saw you like this person. If you have the time, and you'd be like, give us any advice."
That's fair. That's fair enough. But I never get a message like that. It's like, "Yo, bro, watch my video," and I'm like, "No."
And you'd be like, "Oh,
no, fam,
no problem if not." Like most people, a lot of them wouldn't reply, but sometimes they'd just be like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, okay."
Well, and then I'd done that till about 700 subscribers, and then the almighty powerful Will and E.
I think I was doing it probably about to 10k.
Were you?
Like, maybe to like 15k subs, yeah.
Oh, no, well,
because my growth like died down after I hit 10k.
Well, when I hit 800 subs, Will, he put a tweet out saying something like, "Is there any Northeast YouTubers?" And Will had like 100, maybe he's 200k at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Is there any Northeast YouTubers?" And I got tagged like twice, and then Will, you remember when you could like a video and it would come on people's Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Will liked it, and then it went on his Twitter, and he also retweeted my video on Twitter, and then I got I think I got like 300 subs.
Oh,
and I remember the night before that I was gonna quit because my camera, something like, and I know this sounds, but I was
Will and E saved my career.
this mate.
Clipped.
How
It
well
seems
and
like
he saved Cam Cutcom's career.
Not anymore. You want to come again, Will? You know, that was a good time. There's been a couple of times where Will's shouted us out where literally before I've thought I'm not going to do this anymore because it's literally been not dead, but so many times where, have you not had that where you've thought your channel is sometimes you're just going to, I don't know, like it's over.
Yeah, but for me, it was always like, you've came this far. If you give up, like I'd rather like, I think it's more embarrassing like trying something and failing rather than just doing it badly. You know
How
what I mean?
long have you been doing YouTube for?
I've said this before, but I was doing it since like on and off since like 2011, 2012.
Fucking hell, so like 8 years.
On and off. I had so many channels. I'd make a channel, make about 20, 30 videos, get about 1,000 subscribers. My mate would find it. I'd delete it, start again. It was like I was a process that would just go in circles and circles and circles. And then my actual channel that I made now was 2016, and I've kept it since.
Oh, what about you?
You still not really done it.
Yeah, I think I made my YouTube channel in like 2012 or something. But I didn't do anything on it. It was just so I could watch videos and like stuff and whatever it was, and watch age restricted content or something like that. I don't know. And that sounds worse than what it is. It's like, you know, when you say like they have to be 18 plus. If I ever wanted to watch the video, like okay. But I think I only started uploading videos from last year. Really, but my first video on my channel is like 5 years old, 4 years old.
Okay,
do you get what I mean? But I did like one video a year.
I've only been doing YouTube, and I feel like people say this seems like I've been doing it longer. I've only been doing YouTube for 3 years.
Do you want a medal?
I'm just saying since 27. Fuck off, Lewis.
I've only been doing it like 3 years. I'm doing this well already.
I'm not doing this well. I'm dying.
You're not
Okay,
dying,
we
lad.
need to do a Cam Kirkham episode.
You're not revive my career, lads. No, no, you're not at all. Like, I think with creating content and stuff, sometimes you plateau, don't you? And I think it's interesting. No, stop me so hard yourself. I think when you're talking about like with Will helping you like that, sometimes you dip. That was the wrong way. Dip and then go up.
I remember at 3K, I thought my channel was completely dead because I think I was getting like 100 views in a day. It was when when we moved in the council, I was getting 100 views in a day, and then I shaved my head because I was like, it's gonna have to happen.
That's when I first saw you online.
Oh no, I shaved my head in the council house. I've shaved it 3 times for videos.
That wasn't when I
channel
first
goes
saw
down. You'll just see it's like a correlation with how many hair fibers I have, and it'll be like hair up, channel down.
Why did we do that again? I remember we done it in the kitchen, didn't we?
Yeah, because my channel was dead, and then I'd done that, and it was like a 1 out of 10, and it revived me channel.
No, but what was it? What was the video called again? Like I completely forgot.
This something like he wasn't meant to do this, and then we're doing a skit of like he wasn't meant to shave me head, but he was.
Yeah, so you like pretended to not do it, and then you're like, oh, I might as well just shave it all off. But what confuses me, right, is because you like say like, oh, I didn't really hear of YouTube. Not in a deep way. Did you not have any friends that were like, oh, I watched this YouTuber? Oh, like, did none of your mates watch YouTube? My whole friends, like half my friend circle watch YouTube, so I could speak to them about it. Or like just the odd guy in class I'd speak to about it.
I don't know, because I feel like in school I don't really feel like I had a full like a friendship group where I know this, everyone probably says, but I don't actually belong in society. Like I would bounce around, so I never really had them conversations with people where you talk about things you did after. I just every dinner I'd probably sit with a new group just to try and like. All right, lads, you're getting to me feelings, man.
No, you said before. I think it was to Max or Becky. Either was one of the conversations that we had where you were saying that wasn't that popular. I think it was to Max. It wasn't that popular. Where you were like a whole
in
YouTube
Newcastle,
thing.
Not many people know what YouTube. Like, well, now they do.
They do, yeah, but they didn't then.
Here, you know, someone here, you go to like a shopping centre, someone will be vlogging. If someone vlogs in Newcastle,
you get the head caved in.
Literally get punched.
That's literally what that guy in Curry said to us last week. He was like, "Are you one of them vloggers?" I was like,
"Oh yeah." He said that Morgs came in the shop.
He was like, "Oh, Morgs was in the shop last week." He was like, "Are you one of them vloggers too?" Because as a YouTuber, it's the most awkward thing. I'm sure you can relate. It's the most awkward thing when you're like in an Uber or getting a haircut and you know the question's coming, like, so what do you do? You're like, what do I say? And I was like, oh, I edit. I do editing videos. So he was like, what, like 4 YouTubers? And I was like, fine, I am a YouTuber, okay? No more questions.
Yeah, you do though. You feel embarrassed a little bit.
Yeah.
But
there is a stigma behind the name YouTuber, you know?
Yeah, so I will never mention YouTuber unless they be like YouTube, like unless they know what it is. Like, I'm not going to explain YouTube to a random person.
Going back to school, I think that was on the question, like, did no one mention it and stuff? I just don't think I really had too much time with. I had a group, but not really. Like after school, just instantly didn't really speak. So I wasn't really in a group to talk about like stuff like that. I remember there was always one of my closest friends at school. We would go and say, when you go home, what do you do? Because like no one would ever hear from us, and that was
the exact same when we were moving into the council house. Me and Callum were speaking about this all the time. We were like, we really want to know what Cam does, because we were like, you take fucking ages to respond to anyone's messages. Cam will either respond in 30 seconds or 3 days. He just doesn't. He takes ages to respond. So me and Callum, we were trying to get a move literally trying to move house, and we'd be waiting like a full day for cameras instead, like one message. And we, as soon as we got it like confirmed, we were like, we really want to know what
Because I
Cam
sit and
does.
cry, Lewis.
We were literally like, I was
In
like,
your black room.
Are you happy? In my black room with black walls, I sit and cry. I probably can't find me phone.
black phone as
Your
well.
phone is black as
Yeah,
well.
black phone.
Everything's
Black phone
black.
case.
Yeah, it actually is. I just...
So we generally were like, I really want to see like if Cam just sits and like stares at the walls all day, just like.
I actually did, though. That's all I used to do. I feel like I don't want to come across as a depressed kid, but I'd go home and just... I don't know what I'd do. I'd just sit in the dark with the blinds shut and do nothing.
Because you're not playing any games.
No. Well, yeah, I played, like, Modern Warfare 2. And I remember, like, so, you know, summers, like, you know, your first summer after school where everyone, like, goes to the, like, or the beach or just, like, goes and drinks, like, Frosty Jacks.
Yeah.
I would spend my entire summer playing The Giant, Call of Duty. You know, The Giant, you ever played The Giant?
I was
What
kind
the
of.
hell was that?
It's like the Zombies map.
Zombies map.
Okay.
Yeah. I was half and half. Like my mates, they were the type of people that wouldn't really ask me to come drinking because they know there'd be about a 90% chance that I'd say no. I'd like them to ask me so I feel involved, but I'd most likely say
You like
no
to ask them
yeah.
so that you can say no rather than be like, oh,
It's
God,
like,
they
it's
didn't
like when
invite me.
someone's got food and like loads of food, I want them to go. Even though I don't want it, I still want them to go, do you want a bit? So I can go, no, I'm alright.
I wonder...
What's just manners?
What I would...
Manners, man, manners.
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 What I wonder is if we went to school, would we be friends? Like, would we be in the same, like...
I was a dick in school, like.
I can see that.
No. Nothing's changed about me. I was such a wind-up merchant in school. Like, I would just wind people up to the absolute max. I remember one time, there was this, like, girl, I got told she had a fear of tomato ketchup, and I was like, that's bullshit, no one has a fear of tomato ketchup. So what did I do? I came into school with tomato ketchup, and I was like,
Why?
ooh, it's gonna get you. She started crying, broke down, and I was like, maybe she is scared of tomato ketchup.
Why would you do that?
I thought she was
Wanker.
capping.
That's why.
I thought she was capping, fam.
Do not know the power of
bruv.
I
Heinz.
thought she
This
was
kid-
capping, fam.
Mm.
Fuck's sake.
I was so good at school in terms of like I knew how to wind up teachers, but to the point where it wasn't nasty and they'd bully me back. So I'd bully them and they'd bully me back. It was like completely fine.
I was the same for that for teachers, but they just used to send me out until sixth form when they what was the need?
Bad boy.
You literally
What
tell
you
a
gonna
ketchup
do?
story and literally we sit there and listen. I just say I got sent out and you're like, oh, you think you're funny. All right, cool, that's
Bad
cute.
boy.
Yeah, I can't. Shut up.
Bad boy.
Okay, fine. At least he's been less quiet. No, it was the same for me. But I don't think we'd be friends. No, you'd be too quiet for me. Like if that's how you were, as in like
I wasn't quiet.
Okay,
I was just...
But if you're saying you're kind of like a recluse,
Well, you kept quiet in
No,
class?
I just didn't have a friendship. Well,
neither did I. To be fair,
I wasn't the,
until
like...
sixth form.
I was like the ghostwriter of the
The
loud
ghost
kid.
right?
So I'd say a joke like on the table, and then the loud kid would shout it out, would get the laughs, and I'd be like,
Yes. No. You'd be like yes.
Were you the type of person that'd like say something under your breath and then the person next to you would just steal it?
yeah,
Is that exactly?
that was literally me.
That's all right.
There's a couple of people like that. Yeah, it's one of the most painful feelings I'd say out there when someone repeats your joke in class and gets the laughs, and you're like,
Yeah.
that was me. That was me.
You
that
don't
was
get
all
the
me.
credit you deserve.
I
now.
was a loud kid in class. I was
Bad boy.
good, brilliant.
Stop it.
I didn't really do. When sometimes just school really isn't just isn't for you,
Yeah.
kind of thing. You know, I felt like it didn't really suit.
Try and put
what
you
I
in a
needed.
box.
I wouldn't
I
go.
just
I
wanna
wouldn't
get
go
out.
like. I wouldn't say that I'm a maverick like that. But I was just trying to. I think for me, you just sometimes you don't. Doesn't feel like you're in a right kind of system for you, kind of thing. You know. Whereas I think if we're going to take it back to where we say what if we would have been friends if we were back at school, I was a little bit like you, where I'd go to different friendship groups until I think sixth form. And when I was in sixth form is when I had like a solid set of friends. But even then, none of them would mix with each other. I had like four sets of friends.
Well, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but I have something where I think, like, when we're talking about friends and things, I think I have a reason why I didn't. Fuck.
You didn't fuck.
No, I have a reason why I don't feel like I mix well with people after like year 7, 8.
Yeah. So why is that?
Right. Fuck. So I've never. Though I've only ever told one person about this.
Who's that? Chloe.
Yeah, but like me and Chloe have been going out with each other for a year now, and
Was that the anniversary the other day?
yeah,
It was.
actually.
There we go.
How cute.
And that took me like 9 months to tell. I think actually it was like 10. I think I only told that like last month. I think or the month before. So when I was like 12, 13, so I think it was like yes, it was when like the iPhone 4 just came out. I think that was our 3GS. That was like year 7, year 8.
Is this like first year of high school?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
first, second year.
Just need to translate into Scottish terms.
Like obviously you start talking to people in like year 7, year 8. You start like talking to different people. And then
Do you mean like romantically?
Yeah, like talking.
I don't know, chirps and girls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shagging everybody.
he's bringing the private school slangs just again.
Chirps is not private school slack. Shut up.
Chipsing.
Carry on.
Yeah, and I got talking to this person on Instagram. Like at this point, I don't feel like I had any mental health issues at all. Really, I felt like I was quite like in primary school and in year 7. I feel like I was quite a happy kid. And then when I got to there, start talking to this person. I think it was Facebook Messenger. I think it was just before Instagram really took off. And yeah, got talking, started whatever. I still remember. I'm not going to say the name because I just don't feel it, because it doesn't even. You'll see. Got talking to this person. I still remember it. Anyway, we agreed to Skype. I think it was. You remember when Skype was a big thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, Skype, and I remember this is fucking deep, right? And you just can take the piss, whatever. But we're called, and the girl was like, it was quite, when you're like you're 7, 8, horny, and like
yeah,
like those sexual stuff. I was like, whatever, cool. And then fucking hell, man. There was one like, I can't remember.
I can see where this is going.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact phrase, but she was like, "Can you show us your dick?" or something like that. Whatever. I haven't got a fucking zoom lens, love. No, not joking. I remember.
Me too, brother. Me too.
Yeah. So anyway,
you got your wang
my
out.
pants down. And she was anyway. This was a lot of Skype calls. This just wasn't one. This was like 10.
It wasn't like, hello, get your dick out. It's more like,
so I've done it in a lot. So anyway, and because it annoys us because it seems so stupid, but never ever saw her. Like I never saw her, and I used to ask her, I haven't got a camera, and me being fucking stupid, I was like, oh, what the fuck, whatever. And then
you heard her voice.
No, it was
all over text.
Yeah, I know, it's so fucking stupid.
All right, yeah.
Her text anyway. Fucking hell, feel like I'm gonna start fucking crying. Never thought about this out loud. And then one day, so obviously I'd like wanked on camera, whatever, showed dick, whatever. And then one day she asked to do it, and I was really uncomfortable because I remember because I still thought it was an actual. It was called. I don't want to say her name actually. It was still called like an actual person, so I actually thought it was an actual person I was talking to. And then I just didn't feel comfortable, so I said I don't want to go on. Like I don't want to do Skype today. And I remember, fucking hell, got sent like photos and got. Fucking hell, I'm fucking shaking. Got sent like loads of shit and like saying that if I didn't come on, they were gonna post all these photos and stuff like that.
Holy shit!
And I remember being like, fuck. Like I still thought it was a girl at this point, but I remember searching our social medias after this and couldn't find anywhere. Like literally, that name and that name with that photo didn't exist. And I remember just being like, oh fuck. So I went on. Did stuff again because I was so scared. And I remember going in school and thinking it was someone at this point I knew it wasn't that person. So I remember going in school and that's where my anxiety started. I was like, fucking hell. I thought it was someone in my class. And I remember I didn't talk to anybody for like a whole year because I thought this was going on for like a whole year. I thought it was someone in the class. And then eventually I blocked all numbers and done everything, and I went, fucking hell, and I just did everything. And then about 2 years later, I got a call from that person again.
2 years later?
Yeah, and I remember just being like, every time I talk about it, my whole like,
it's traumatizing.
Do you know what I mean? So I got in I think it was I got a call in the council house off them as well. I remember picking up and being like, oh, who's this? And I remember hearing the voice. and the voice was a whisper. So at the time I was like, oh, whatever. But it was always a whisper. So I couldn't tell gender or anything. And I feel like I know now that was like paedophilic.
Well, do you want me to tell you something that would make you feel miles better?
What?
That exact same story has happened to me.
Has it?
Exact same story. Exact same story. Literally, I met someone. They told me to video call them, asked me to do something exact same age as you, 11, 12, maybe 10, really young, really fucking young.
Yeah.
Got me to do the same thing. They didn't, so it was a she as well, but they didn't have no webcam. They had a webcam, but it was like the same video just playing over and over and over, like just a girl like typing. So it looked legitimate at the time.
Okay.
I was young enough to be like, oh, that's an actual person.
Yeah.
And then I'd done it about 3 or 4 times. And then, like I said, I would do the exact same stuff. I've only told like 2 people this as well.
Yeah.
Literally the exact same thing. And then I remember the second, she kept using that same video thing for like 2, 3, but I still thought it was generally her. Then one time, it was a different video, and I was like, she looks a lot different. I was like, why do you look different? She was like, I don't. I was like, you look really different, look like a completely different girl. So I went on the Facebook profile again, and I was just done a bit of digging. Then under the gender, it said, male.
Oh, fuck.
And then I went, exact same as you, and I went, fuck. And I was like, your thing says male, and they said, you said they actually sent you the photos.
I'm pretty sure.
They didn't send me the photos or the videos, but they went, if you don't come on webcam and do the exact same thing again, I'm going to send them videos to everyone in your friends list.
Yeah.
Everyone in your friends list.
That was the same, and you get blackmailed into doing it, so then you do it again.
But I didn't. I just was like, fuck that, blocked them and everything. I was like, 10-year-old me was like, they're capping, they're bluffing. I was like, they won't do shit.
Yeah,
I was like, they won't do shit.
You can understand why I would shit myself though and just keep doing it. But now I look back, I'm like, what the fuck? But every time on the news, on the local news, you hear about like nonsense things. And you hear about ones being caught with like 10,000 images, that kind of thing.
Oh, like fucking like, yeah, it's like 500 gigabytes.
I always wonder if the person that
was one of them. But that's what mine was as well. Like I said, exact same thing. I know the name. I still know the name, Facebook name. I still remember the profile picture. I remember everything. And like I said, that's a story that I've only told. So hopefully that makes you feel more comfortable that I've literally had the exact same thing. Yeah. Exact same thing. And that's when I was like, but then now looking back at it, I'm like, couldn't give a fuck if that got released. If someone's going to watch child pornography, that's your fucking problem, not mine.
My dick's probably the same size as well. So Charlie, what was your sexual?
No, I've actually gone through that before. I've never told anybody though.
You as well? Is everyone went for this?
No, I was 12. I think it was right. So there was some website that I was on. I used to really love Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh. Yeah, like nothing related. So I was on a website.
Actually watched that. Probably should.
Bro, you can watch it now. It's timeless. It's so good. It's so good. Amazing. I mean, like I said, I've had one physical case which I have told 2 or 3 people about before. There's nothing I really want to right now talk about completely. But then one which has been online. Like, when you're a kid, sometimes you're just so stupid. Like you're just so stupid. Sometimes you don't even think about it. Yeah, like, as we've literally
you look back and you're like, why the fuck would you do that?
Why would I do that?
In the moment,
I hate thinking about myself as a kid. When I think about me early teens, I fucking hate that person. I'm like,
you know what it is actually? I think it's when you're growing up adjusting to a huge abundance of premature post-nut clarity. Yeah,
and it's mostly
after I'd wank to this fucking 40-year-old bloke, I'd be like,
fuck,
why'd I do that?
Yeah, exactly. And then you're just like, oh no.
Do you know what the worst part was? What? For me, I was so young that I couldn't even come.
Oh yeah, I had that. I had tingle dick. Yeah.
What's tingle dick?
Where you've orgasmed, you finished, but then you don't come, but your dick just tingles like mad. Maybe I just had syphilis.
This is brutal because I don't want to fucking talk about me as a fucking like 10, 11-year-old boy. But no, I literally couldn't finish, and it would just go like really sore. because I've been doing it that long.
Really?
Because I couldn't obviously.
That's been an age-old thing for you then. You just can't finish.
I thought I was diseased because I'd watch porn and I'd see people come and I'd be like, mine doesn't do that.
Yeah, no.
That's my exact. And that's the exact same way. Like when I discovered, don't want to say this, brother, I found it on your laptop.
Oh, God.
Never told you this, but there we go.
Granny porn.
I found it on his laptop and I was like, I don't know what this is. I watched it and I seen that come and I was like, does mine do that? I tried it, didn't do it. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm happy to take a bit of a diversion. No, then obviously from that website, which I was on, which is people who really liked the program Avatar, and then for some reason just became really
forum.
Yeah, kind of like a forum thing. But then we all thought that we could actually manipulate the elements. It got a bit weird. Anyway, yeah. But from that, I started to go onto different forums and stuff and discover like different kind of forums. And then you start exchanging details, and it goes on to MSN and it goes on to Skype and all that kind of shit. And there was this one person who I thought was a girl. Started talking to her, and it wasn't a girl at all. Like, they turned on their cam once by accident, and I was like,
Was it like that girl who I called on my Insta story the other week? Remember, did you not see when I called that person that was DMing me on Instagram on my story? And it was like a man.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what did that? Not like what?
No, they turned it off straight away, and they said, "Oh, I put like the wrong screen." They were trying to bullshit their way out of it. But the thing is, they then said after it was like, "Oh, I really want you to come back on camera. If you don't, then I'll start showing it to people who are in the forums, as in like in the other stuff." And I'm like, what the fuck? And then they obviously had my Facebook details and they knew who I was. And I was terrified that they were going to find me online and then be able to send it to everyone else.
So isn't it mental when you're a kid? That's like, you instantly just, it's as if that's everything. Whereas now if someone did it, you'd be like...
But the thing is now, like, I don't care. I've said it on my own YouTube channel. Like, if, like, I'm all for it. If I'm talking to a girl and then she was like, yeah, go on, I'll be like, yeah, go on, I love my dick anyway. So there are probably pictures and stuff of my knob flying around the internet anyway. And if that gets leaked, yeah, so be it. It's a dick, whatever. I actually don't care. Like, you can't blackmail me from that. But I think that actually genuinely came from trauma as like a kid, like where I had so much anxiety. Like, I was literally sitting there just thinking like, every day I wake up, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get a message of someone saying, hi, I saw that.
Yeah,
or whatever,
that,
you know?
Every day you wake up and you'll like check your phone and be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
This is really weird, but it's really comforting to know, but also really worrying that all three of us, we didn't know this. Before we recorded this, none of us knew this, but all three of us have been sexually blackmailed by paedophiles.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But I Jesus Christ. I wonder if it's a more common thing than what, because that's the one thing I'll talk about.
Maybe it is. I wouldn't tell anyone because I was like, no fucking ways any other person done that. Yeah. Like, no one's stupid as I was. I was like, surely fucking not.
Yeah, I think it
turns out we're all stupid.
Yeah, we're all idiots. We're
all horny little boys.
I really was though, man. It is the post-nut clarity, bro. Like, I couldn't control it. I was just like, oh, girl wants me. Yeah.
The guy came on the screen. You were like, oh, now finally.
And that's when I realised I like old men.
Just like himself.
Yeah, okay. Great. Yeah, lovely.
Should we take it on a bit of a lighter note?
Yeah, let's go to a lighter note.
Well, you were saying that was mostly just why you felt anxious in school.
Actually, yeah, we didn't even finish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We could take it straight back to that. You were saying like from that whole story, that's why you started to maybe like become more of like not necessarily like a recluse, but you didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah,
around.
I thought everyone in school knew. I remember when everyone would take the mic, I would always like, not over anything towards us. I just thought shit they knew, and that's where like I don't have hardly. You've probably seen off YouTube and stuff when I'm always asking you what I should do. I have like no confidence in myself. Really, that's why with EXO did shit, because I don't believe that I should be not where I am, but I just like with EXO, I don't believe that I should have been there, and I don't believe even on this podcast, I'm like, well, why the fuck am I here when someone at home is like working? Not just Kyle is an electrician. Why is Kyle not here?
Yeah,
in London. I always think things like that.
I mean, like Kyle's working as hard as he can so he can get to London anyway next year, and we've been kind of handed it on a plate.
But
so,
that's why I was thinking, why is not being like someone like him? Why me?
Because I think Yeah, you've worked for
But
it, but I
I
think,
have.
but you have, but
course you
also,
have.
but also, some things is that with opportunity comes from hard work, but also taking that, like your success comes from opportunity met with hard work. So you can't make a success if you don't have the opportunity, which is what we've got here, mixed with hard work. If you don't work hard, you can have an opportunity and not grasp it. Do you get what I mean?
And I know
So you
a
got
lot
to take
of-
your opportunities.
And I know a lot of like YouTube and social media is like, I'm not going to lie to anyone, most of it is based on luck. Like you can, luck is whether a video bangs, whether that bangs, a lot of it is luck. But like what Becky was saying, I think it was Becky that said it, the harder you work, the luckier you get, because the more...
Yeah, that's true. Sounds like Gary V.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think with going back that in school, and I feel like that's where obviously depression and stuff starts, where you start like excluding yourself from other people. I think I was just a sad kid. Thanks, Mr. Nonce.
Mr. Nonce. Guys, I just want to just say like one thing that makes me really sad, and it's kind of a little bit of a jealousy thing of both of you actually. It really is I can't drive. I can't drive. Yeah. So if I want to learn to drive, where do I go?
Oh,
Wait, why don't we do that for oh my god, that's a series on the channel. Teaching Charlie to drive.
And this is the integration.
Now if you look at Charlie's face, he's very sad because Charlie can't drive.
So sad.
And until today, Charlie couldn't find anybody that could save him money on his car insurance.
But Cam,
What, Charlie?
who can help me?
Adrian Flux, look at his happy face. He has the face of a happy customer from Adrian Flux.
Wow.
Charlie, why are you happy?
I don't know. It's all about the black box policy, Cam. Tell me more.
The black box policy, basically, Charlie is a new driver and he needed some car insurance, but actually Charlie hasn't passed his test yet. But that is no problem because, you know, you can actually go on Adrian Flux's website and check your car insurance as a new learner driver. Do you know
My
that?
God, I did not know that.
You can save money as a learner driver on your next car insurance. You don't even need to have passed your test.
Me?
You.
Wow.
And do you know how you do it?
You tell me.
You go at the first link in the description, Charlie.
Wow.
Do that if you want to save money on your car insurance now.
And support us on the podcast.
He is a happy customer.
Very happy.
So from then, obviously, you started your YouTube, and I know when we moved into the council house, you had 3,000 subs, and I know you were big on Facebook at the time as well, because we talked about it. But did all your YouTube audience all come from Facebook? Like,
Most of it did. I had like 30k on Facebook. I had like before when I moved in the
but I'm
council.
talking like before council house. Like, how did they? Because you had like 3k on YouTube. Did that all come from Facebook?
So there was a time when I was doing Facebook and YouTube, and I was going to quit YouTube because Facebook was doing so good.
It was. Facebook was so good back in the day to get in.
So I every time I'd promote a video on Facebook, it would do bits on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with Facebook definitely helped, but when we moved into the council house, obviously me, you, Callum, Marky, and Dan Ranty all moved in, and you know, mate, that was probably the make or break for my YouTube.
What, Facebook?
No, moving into the council house.
I think it all was. I think we all wanted me. I can't speak for the others, obviously, but for me, it was more if you want to do it, fucking do it. Let's do it. Like if you really want to do it, show. Like it was kind of me to prove to myself that I could do it. So I was like,
do what? Just move in a place?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Sorry.
Like I've been like, I'm okay. I've got enough money. Moving to a house, 6 months. Do it. Like do
we
it.
were the opposite with money. You moved with like bank.
I did because I saved. I was going to go travelling in Australia, so I saved up loads of money. And then my YouTube started to do well, so I was like,
Go on a gap, yeah.
Yeah. Gap year, yeah.
No, Cam, I was depressed.
I'm
I was
going on a gap
depressed
year.
and didn't know where to turn in life.
So I remember I moved in. The whole fees for the moving out was 300 quid, and I had 300 quid in my account. So I was like, "Well, this is beautiful. This is gonna work." Paid it all. I was like, and then
I'd have a panic attack if I had 300 quid in my bank account.
Do you want that fucking taught the nonce again? No, I wouldn't. Anyway, yeah, I moved out with that, and then I had nothing, and
Nothing left.
fuck's sake, that was where I had to do like the hospital things, you know, like the £200 for the hospital where I'd get
easy money.
Yeah, but it's not when student doc does. So this is what happened. I'd turn up with me mates, right? Because this is the type of fucking mates I have. Do you want to go down to the hospital and get touched? Aye, let's go.
Aye.
I'm on the guest list. They'd literally get student doctors, put their hands down your pants, and I hadn't shaved. I just keep getting fucking abused.
What
me,
the
like,
hell's
don't I?
going on, camera? What the hell? All right, cool.
I just attract them. Putting me hands like that. Right when my pubes are, didn't shave, right? I was like King Kong down there.
Just without the big dong.
Without the big dog.
King Kong with small dong. Diddy
More
Kong.
like-
Oh, fuck's sake.
And I just remember them like that's one of the most degrading moments of my life.
Where were they putting it?
So it's to scan for pregnancies. But for
But
some
just like
reason
your
they think
belly?
I've got a womb.
What the fuck?
No, but the
I'm really confused.
the students don't know where the womb is, and obviously someone's not looking at the gender of the person. They're like, oh, the womb's not in here. Oh shit, Sherlock.
Oh, so but they weren't blindfolded, were they?
No, it wasn't a Sidemen video or something. Locate the womb with the Sidemen.
If it makes you feel any better, I've
Vicstar just rubbing up your genitals.
had my willies. I've had my willy out in front of loads of people, loads of times at hospitals before without my,
Is that your consent?
I kind of needed to be done. When I was 12, I had an issue down there that needed to be.
You got circumcised?
No, I didn't get circumcised. Do you want to hear what happened to my willy?
Did you get smegma?
Once again, this is a story that I've only probably told like 5. I have had smegma once. I'm kidding. I've only told like 5 people this. It's not like a big deal. It's quite a common thing. My testicles twisted.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Someone in my school happened that.
Like,
It was
no.
awful.
So no needs.
No.
Fucking, it
What,
wasn't
like
my fucking choice. I
like
didn't do it on purpose.
It got twisted like a cheese string.
Yeah, it gets fucking twisted and you can't untwist.
Did
Pretty
they
much.
inflate?
Yeah,
Did they get
massive.
really big? Yeah.
To the size of like a tennis ball.
Okay, can we move on? Because this is just. I feel like I'm on an episode of Casualty.
Roger Federer comes.
Oh no. So I had to get my. I've had my willy out so much in front of doctors. Like I have to get it full out. And they're like, do you mind if the student doctors come in? And you're not gonna go, no. You go,
So would you
bring
say
them
that?
in.
Oh, very soft balls you've got here.
So there was like one guy touching my balls and there was like 3 watching them.
This just sounds like the most fucked up
Something
porno
like
ever.
that. Are you sure you didn't have an orgy?
I was 12. I was 12, Cameron.
Happens. Would you say that roleplay naughty nurse is out of the question for you then?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I remember.
Would that not trigger something? It's like, oh
remember-
god, not my balls.
Well, you do realise, like, because guys, if there's any females watching this, some girls won't know that guys, they don't just get like an erection when they're like horny. Sometimes they can get it when they're like really nervous.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, so whenever I've had mine checked out like 10 times. And
10 times?
Yeah, I've had
He
to
just
go,
got, he likes the fucking.
Do you reckon that he goes home and starts going,
yeah, I
I just want to get back to the
myself.
doctors.
Puts himself in. Oh, I've got one in 2 months.
I sabotage myself. I do it to myself. No, because
Oh, fuck the cheese grater.
I've had
Like swing ball.
I obviously had the initial ones, then I had operation, then I had checkups and stuff like that. I've even got 2 scars on my balls. I can show you one day.
Oh, we're okay.
Right, no, I think we're alright, Lou.
That's actually really serious. I hope you don't have to go 10 more
Yeah.
times.
You know when we-
So it wouldn't be a surprise to me if I'm infertile, pretty much.
You know when we had the whole conversation when I talk about like my issues with like the premature ejaculation, he's just like, I can't come kind of thing. I'm not surprised, lad, by at this point. You're just like, if my dick had been out and been touched that many times by people I didn't want to like sexually be active with, I don't think I'd want it out at all.
The amount of like sticks and fucking scars he's probably got in his balls, it's like kaplunk. Just pull it out. Oh,
Really like Frankenstein's monster has been put back together again.
It's been through the wars. It has been through the wars. Now that's the only thing I've really had problems with.
Barbarian
how
cock.
did we get on this?
I don't know.
Balls.
Because you were complaining about someone rubbing belly, and I was like, well, someone's actually touched me, rubbed around,
Pulling it and everything.
Yeah, but they have to pull back
Pulling
the
it?
skin.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I
oh,
say,
yeah,
see,
yeah.
for like infections and stuff.
Oh,
You have to feel around and it was kind of wholesome in a way. I still go. Do you never get your balls checked for like lumps in that?
I do that
Never.
myself. I don't go for
Yeah,
someone
but
to do it.
you can have a lump and it cannot be cancerous. It can be just like a cysty. So like
Yeah, I've never
I
had that.
thought I had a lump, so I got it checked, and I seen the same doctor that I seen 10 years ago when I twisted them. I was like,
And I'd be like, you've grown, lad. Look at you shining.
Ah, you have grown.
I've not grown. I've not. They're still the same. It's exactly.
Is that a stick in your pants, or you're just happy to see us?
On a
It's
strange
exactly
question.
how I remember it.
On a strange question, do you guys remember the age when your penis started to grow? Because
Not really.
I have memories.
No,
when
I'm still waiting.
Because I have memories. I don't have memories of having like tiny wang. I don't like remember. I don't think I looked at it. I don't think I knew it was there.
Because it grows up with you. So like
Grows up with me.
yeah,
Oh, this is
so like
romantic.
If you have tiny hands, You have tiny hands and a tiny willy, so it looks just quite average. But then as your hands get bigger, your willy gets bigger. So
Is it like Deadpool?
it's like hand in hand. It's like hand in hand. Your hands grow bigger.
Hand in
your
cock.
Yeah.
Right. It's just strange because the only one memory I have of my penis when I was a kid was when I went to when I went
you
to the
got
doctor's.
it on video.
No, when
I don't know. You know what? Send us a video so I can remember. I'm a visual learner.
No, when I went to the doctor's and I remember looking down because he was like looking at it. I remember actually like from visual memory, it was very small. And it's still very small.
You know what's really worrying? That people are going to be watching this and the whole episode we've been talking about very serious things and we're just laughing at it and everyone's going to be like...
No wonder we're all fucked up. We'll get my balls checked every 10 minutes and wanking the fucking nonsense. No wonder we're all fucking depressed.
Everyone's going to be like, literally like... watching
People
this.
are just like...
And that's going to be the intro.
Is my intro going to be a ghost?
I'm not dead, fam!
I'm not dead. I'm not
On the
dead.
topics.
Yeah, let's go back to the topic.
The council house.
Yeah,
we got so off course so quickly.
Right, we've already
It's like Paul Walker was driving the car.
I want to ask a question.
We will not see him
Oh
again.
God, I want to ask a question about
We will not see him
about the council house to lad. I want to ask a question about the council house in contrast to now, because obviously like there's probably much more that you can talk about for the council house, but it's not something which I know about. I've heard stories.
We've got so much stuff to talk about.
For sure. But just like for me, just as my question is that obviously in contrast to where you are right now to where you are then, is it more of like where you are right now being? Do you find yourself more accomplished in like where you are, or do you feel like it's still like? I always find the pursuit of happiness being something which is always like you're looking at the next step. Would you say that mentally, in regards to your career and what you're doing, you're in the same spot now to where you were then, or just with more subs?
So, right, like I had literally nothing in the council house, like money wise. Like I'd have rice for breakfast, rice for tea, but I was happier then.
Okay.
I was happier, and I know that sounds so stupid because it's like, oh, where you live, and I am happy. I literally am so happy, but I think it was because everything, when I was in the council house, everything was just me working for this, like working. I worked every day, like I'd wake up, editing all night, as everything was just, like, it felt like we all were like just really going for it and working, and just everything was to make it, like make something out of nothing. And now, I am happy, but I feel my goal, so like we joked about in the first podcast, my goal in the council house was to get on like the True Geordie podcast. And
which we'll go.
trying to laugh at that. We discussed all that about how it was me desktop background, fucking idiot. So I was doing everything possible to get on that, and I kind of did with XO, like had the podcast with Brian, whatever. And I just now I don't have that. Like I love.
Is it
I love
drive?
YouTube. I have a drive, but I don't have that end goal.
Okay.
Whereas if I 1 million subscribers, to me, it's like, okay, that's like really good, but it's not. That doesn't drive us.
Because it's not like for example, like starting off YouTube, the goals are easier, whereas like 1 million's like so far away that you're just like,
I mean, it's not. It's
you can't picture it.
It's also, but numbers, I don't care. I don't subscribers wise, I don't care. Views.
This is a man that sits on YouTube dashboard every day. Like,
The analytics, we need to think of the clips to boost the analytics.
guys, it's a 2 out of 10. Come on.
Literally, I'm like, it's like I'm in the Pentagon.
Yeah. I'm just sleeping. I hear like,
Charlie.
You need the clip up at 7:03.
Every time I go into his room, he's on analytics, like on the analytics page. I'm like, I tell him off to stop looking at it because it's like the most depressing thing you can look at.
But
I never look at mine ever.
let's keep it to the topic because you were going on something quite interesting about your goals.
So with YouTube now, all I need is a goal where it's not a subscriber. I just want to be able to post what I want to post. Like, I'll be honest with you, that Jeremy Lynch video that banged 500,000, I didn't want to post that. I wanted.
You didn't love that?
No, I wanted to post it as in I knew it would do well, but I didn't. Like
It didn't get it going for you.
You were more doing what your channel would want rather than what you would want.
Whereas my channel grew from nothing to 150k by doing titles like Romeo Le Nonce
That was one of my favourite ones.
Like videos where, and I'm literally laughing. My most popular video is me ha ha ha. My top like 5 most popular videos are me laughing in the titles. My channel started off me doing what I want, and I feel like after XO, I just lost a lot of confidence, and I was just like, okay, I just need to do what does well because I'm not confident in myself to trust myself enough that I can't just title it anything. I don't trust myself.
Especially with the fact that you were like most of the time you were getting all these new viewers from the XO as well. So when that shut down, that's like a cut off of influx of like new
everyone
players.
thinks I was made on XO, mate, but I got 20k off XO. I had 120k when I joined XO. I left XO with like 140, 145.
Yeah, it's minor. Since you've moved here, you've got loads of subs though.
50k.
As well. Yeah.
But I still feel like I appreciate it, but I'm not like.
Thanks, but fuck off.
No, but I'm not doing what I want to do yet.
For sure. But that's what I was going to ask you next is what for you, maybe this is something even like as regardless of whether this is a podcast or not, but I feel like we obviously talk a lot between the three of us off podcast, but if we were to sit down right now and talk about what are the things which get you going, what would make you happy in regards to content, what do you think right now off your dome? It doesn't have to be like a long thought process, but what would you want to do for your content?
I have so many ideas.
You do.
It's literally the confidence. How many times do I go, look, I'm going to do this?
But I say to you, like, you know, I'm a videographer anyway, and I would help you. He'd make a video. So why? And he is good at what he does.
It's the because I've got obviously I'll just say it. I've got this like new show I'm gonna do. I was telling you about it where it's gonna be in here. It's gonna be like a weekly news thing, and then I've also got stuff like. The Craig video, the interview aspect like that. They're my favourite videos to do. There's so much stuff like that. But when I have the ideas, but it's the confidence where I'm like, oh, no one will care. I'll do it and no one will. But
the thing is, I completely get that. But I'll say, like, from my perspective, obviously I've got a smaller YouTube audience than both of you. And whenever I've uploaded a video onto YouTube, it's always been something about like, what is it that I think will be a good idea, or what would I want to do just to have fun kind of thing. And I get it completely as your sole purpose of income, as like your job has been to do YouTube videos. Do you get what I mean? Whereas my job has been to film for other people. I don't have that pressure. So in a way it's like kind of like a blessing, but I can also remove myself from that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, you have a different
from like overcaring.
100%. If like I said, like, you know this already, I put a lot of money into the goat yoga video and the video got 8k. In comparison, the video with Becky and Alex has done really well. The Penthouse video tour has done really well. For the size of my channel, like the videos perform well, but I love all the videos the same because I enjoyed doing each and every single one of them. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? But that's what, for me, like if that's what you create the content, it should come across on camera. Like you should love making your content, right?
Yeah, but it's like Twitch, okay? With Twitch, it's doing so well for us at the minute. I've only streamed for 5 days, I think. And it's doing really well, and everyone's loving it, and that's because it's just me being me, and I'm just.
But do you know what something new to like put all your energy into rather than the same thing?
100%. But do you know what the blessing is behind that? Is that you've just created another source of income for yourself. True. That if you can remove money from your primary source of income, your primary job, where you get yourself multiple ad revenues. So if we talk about like merch, Twitch, YouTube, then you get residual income in other ways, then you can start to sit there and think, oh, is this video going to do really well? Like, I'm only going to do this because I need the views kind of thing, you know? And then you can start to focus on what you really like doing. Do you get what I mean?
For me, it's never money. Like when I upload a video, I never, ever, ever, ever check revenue. Like I've never clicked on a video and was like, oh,
it's
I wonder what the
revenue is.
It's
not necessarily just revenue, but you know, like a certain amount of views. If you got like I've seen you before, like when you got a 10 out of 10, you're just like, oh, fuck. Obviously you get on with it because you've got 2 videos you do a week kind of thing, and then the chances the more video you do.
But I don't care about the money. Really.
Exactly, but you know that if you get a certain amount of views, that will still supplement your livelihood. It's not like I didn't get this amount of money this month kind of. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I think like you were saying there about different revenue streams and stuff. I think I am the worst person ever for that. Like I've never looked at my YouTube as a business. Like everyone, when I come down here, I've realised everyone has business cards for YouTube. Didn't even have one. Like I've never released any piece of merch. I've never sold anything.
Well, you've not done TikTok stuff either.
Never done. I literally don't think of that. And when I
don't think like that either.
I don't complain that I don't have money. But when I say it to people, like I don't have what. I think people would think we have a lot more money than what we do because where we live.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I think people think we have like 10, more than 10. I'd say more than 10k in my bank. So that's what people would think. Like a lot of our friends do, but us, Well, unless he's looking at us, I don't know if he has got more than 10k.
He's doing all right now. Yeah. He's doing all right now. Yeah.
Okay, well you need to give us a Claude Alone or something, please.
I've been. No,
It's the strings, bro.
I think that's only one thing I'm good at because I'm very, very OCD. I need to have stuff organised. I need to. That like I was saying that to you the other week. I was doing my taxes and I was like, I enjoy doing this, and you were like, you're fucking mental.
I hate
was like,
it.
enjoy. Cause I don't know why. I just get off to having things organised. So. Yeah, like,
Lewis is just like organisation.
Like obviously when I
love it.
Like
I'll
that's
get my balls twisted again.
for me. But the main reason why I have only got so many revenue streams is because I wasn't making that amount of YouTube.
Yeah,
So
100%.
I was like, I'm not making it. I was like, I really want to quit my job. So how can I do? I done a podcast with my mate back home just a couple of days ago, and I was speaking about that. He was like, "Why is it you started your merch? Was it for financial reasons?" And I was like, "No, well, people were asking for it." But at the same time, I was like,
It's
like
gonna help.
that one merch drop made me quit my job.
Did it?
Yeah, I aimed for like a spiffy. Like I wanted to sell like 50 hoodies, and I was like, oh, that's like a hard goal, but hopefully I can do it. First 5 minutes of the drop over that, and I was like,
Really?
I was like, I couldn't believe it. And
I'm
then-
nervous. I'm nervous to drop my stuff. I'm really nervous.
And then I was able to quit my job that week, and my mum was my boss. I was like, Mum, I'm not coming in next week.
Fuck you, mum. With that though, and I don't mean this any disrespect to my viewers, because I know I have like off Twitch and everything, or YouTube comments. I know there's people that have been around since the start and a lot of hardcore audience, but it's just in myself. I feel like if I release merch, I don't know.
I have the exact same thing, bro.
That feeling where would people buy it? It's not like any disrespect. I just in myself, I have such shit confidence that I'm just like, no one really cares if I fucking say. And I'm not just saying that. You can tell I mean that when I talk about content and stuff.
I mean, with my stuff, which you've seen, like what I've been like kind of half working on, and I'm really trying to take my time on that stuff and going back and forth between the designer. And I've got the first t-shirts which you've seen, then I've got my second shirt which is like my stuff, and then I've got a hoodie and socks, and I've got a specific number in my head of like how many I want to drop. But I know that like if that doesn't sell, it doesn't sell out, I'll be like, oh, fuck. Like I'll feel like no one really cares. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but also
you get what I mean?
You at 50k, 60k to sell merch. If you get fucking like even 50 sales, that's really good.
I think I had about 90k when I released mine. I want to say 90k. I want to say And what I will say, my first merch drop was the best it's ever done because it was the first one. Like I've never sold more than I did on my very first drop. Which is quite sad, but I don't. But I've not released merch since I've grew about 100k subs. Like my last merch drop was started this year, January, February. So and I was on 105k then maybe.
When I met Brian and stuff, that was where stuff really started to change. Where he like was telling us about how we need to do all this kind of stuff. I remember coming back and like telling you like he'd tell us stuff and you would be like, what the fuck, like. We just were so out the loop with like,
and at the same time, YouTube's always changing. Like YouTube, every there's a new algorithm every year. That title and thumbnail that you do now won't work in a year's time.
Yeah,
it's always changing. So it's always good to like be friends with these YouTubers, and hence why I live in a YouTube house. Like I said, it's just such an easy thing when you're living with people that do the exact same thing. Like my mates back home will suddenly say to me, now, hey Lewis, you should upload a COD video. And I go, what? And they go, you should maybe do FIFA 21 as well. And I'm like,
someone told me to do a FIFA 21 video. I was just like, huh?
I was like,
Have you seen my channel? What do you mean?
So they're clueless.
Yeah,
clueless. And
no
obviously
idea.
I don't expect them to, it's not their job. They just want to see whatever they want to see. But like when you're in the house with YouTubers, it's so nice to like, should I title with that? And then someone just goes, no. Why would you do that? Like title with this, thumbnail like that. Why would you do that? It's just so good just to have another fresh pair of eyes to be able to tell you what to do. Exactly. But no, what was that? Wasn't your first time messaging Brian when you like messaged him because he was like, I'm looking for editors or something like that?
Yeah, so I messaged him.
I remember.
He was asking for an edit and I literally was like, oh, look, I'll do it. And he sent us a message saying, it's like, it sounds funny, but he sent a message saying, oh, sorry, bro, like, because my editing was shit then. Like the cuts and stuff. He's like, oh, sorry, it's not what we're looking for. But I've got something. I don't want it to sound weird, but he's like, I've got something planned with you. Like I've got something like I want to do something with you. I've got something planned with you. And that was like
the way I remembered it was he said, but I've seen your stuff and I like it. Keep it up or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Yeah,
I swear he said
think
he's seen you before and he's liked your stuff or something like
something like that. And that was when I was on like was it about 4K?
Yeah.
And I remember it being like, oh shit, that's class. Like the true Joe.
The true Geordie.
The true
The true
Geordie.
Geordie knows who I am.
Do you find it so mental, like how some people, like you have no idea, like when you upload a video or you put a video out, you have no idea who's watched it because the thing is, it's just the numbers.
well-
Because even when we went to like the Shoreditch football, and some people who I didn't expect, people watched the podcast sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
I always joke about that. Like, I wonder if like Billie Eilish likes a bit of like Cutter's Corner or something like that. You know, like just something like really weird.
Yeah, it was like that. Haha, you know that first video on Craig?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first video. Well, apart from Cal, because Cal was literally blown up, like doing his stuff. But between us, with Cal, that was. I mean, with the haha video, that was the first video that really blew up for me, you, or Dan.
Yeah, literally.
And that was where YouTubers started recognizing us, like bigger YouTubers. Like I remember, that was the video.
It all happened in the same week. Like the London lot, like Alex, Will, and James all followed me in like that same week.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Will messages about that. Stephen messages about that. Like messages of like these like big YouTubers who I hadn't spoke to. Brian shared it. What?
I remember being downstairs and you go, Stephen Tries has followed us back. And then
for fuck's sake, man!
And then after he did, about 2 minutes later, Kira Bridget did, and you were like, no, Kira Bridget!
Yeah, it was literally just like the fucking Hollywood Walk of Fame of YouTube.
Yeah,
I remember, so that was the first time a lot of YouTubers got with us.
Whoa.
Got with Stephen Tries.
I asked them if they were available for a video call right after.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Oh no, they're not old enough for me.
Hence why he messaged Brian on Facebook.
And then from there, I remember Brian messaged us saying,
Hooray.
"Hooray, it's me, the true Geordie." No, and it's not even funny. Asked us, I think he just asked us to be on the kickoff. And at this point, I remember the night before. Obviously, I said before, I had rice for breakfast, rice for tea. I had rice for tea. I had a massive bag of rice. I remember actually once I'm sure you like ate my rice once, and I fell out with you for a whole week. Anyway, that's a total different story. I had a bowl of rice on live stream, and then I dropped it on the floor, and I just didn't have any more rice. So like I was like, oh shit! So I didn't eat anything for like 24 hours before. Got to the London for the first time ever going to London. Had to work out how to get Hackney. I had about £2 in my account at this point, so I couldn't get the tube.
So you
like, if you go on the kickoff, I tell the story. Couldn't, and I was like, look on the map. So Hackney. Now Hackney from King's Cross on a map.
Yeah.
In Newcastle, that doesn't look that far.
Yeah.
But in London, that's actually like
a
fucking
2.5 to 3 hour walk.
So I walked the whole way.
Yeah.
From to Hackney, whereas if you've ever seen Only Fools and Horses, that's what it was like. I was walking through the like just big blocks of flats. Now, big blocks of flats in Newcastle are rough, but in Hackney, fuck me.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I thought I was like used to shit like that, but I just remember
London's a scary place.
Like groups of like just people like who looked like they'd be in the ADL just looking at us, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you probably weren't supposed to be there, mate.
Yeah, I was not
They'd be like,
supposed to be there.
who's this
I didn't
next
have a
to you?
skinhead at the time though, so
Yeah.
they were like, my brother.
No, they weren't. They probably thought you were trying to shot in their ends. Like they'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Probably. But I remember it was in the snow as well, walking there.
Yeah.
Went on the kickoff, and at that time, I had literally £2 my account. I was like, I'm going to smash this. I just remember saying, going on, I was like, I'm going to make sure that I am the best on the show today. That's what was.
Was that the same episode where Will was getting you to say something?
Yeah, so Will got. So I was like, oh shit, I'm going to be in a Will video too. So
He's thinking of the clips.
the clips already. Yeah, so that was when Will asked us to do a video in the kickoff. But I just went, and I really smashed that. Like that was one of my proudest moments on YouTube. After got to stay in a hotel as well. Like the hotel was posh as fuck. That was so good. And then I went from there to.
Were you stealing bars of soap and like everything?
Yeah,
from
on
the
eBay straight away.
Selling them in the street like a drug dealer so you can pay for the trip home.
I sold it to
Being
the EDL members. I was like, lads, just
looking for any soap? You look like you need some.
That's the thing with the true Geordie though. I remember ringing him, and he was like,
You can call him Brian, by the way.
"Oh, Brian, yeah." I remember
YouTuber.
ringing and being like, yeah, I have no, just because I was just taught, I was like, yeah, I've got no fucking clue where you live. Like, that was my first conversation with them. And I was like, I felt like, you know, the Crays, like they lived in Hackney. I felt like I was like searching for Roddy Cray, trying to find True Geordie. He lived behind like these gates, like in Hackney, where there's nothing like that is in Hackney. He lived there, so eventually I saw him for the first time.
Yeah. He's a big don,
he
isn't he?
catches your, like,
His body was quite big as well.
Right. So he's like 6'9". If I haven't seen Brian for a while, I'm like, fucking hell.
What is he? 6'5"?
He's got to be over 6'5".
But it's kind of like Logan Paul. Like Logan Paul is, I think, the same height as me. But since he's so wide, I don't know why when someone's wide,
It's the same height as you.
Yeah, but then he's so wide that he looks fucking gigantic. Or he might be like,
Is he not taller than you?
no, because I thought he was 6'5", but then I remember when he was fighting JJ, it only says like 6'2" or 6'3".
Don't search it.
Oh, I really want
Logan
to.
Paul height.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, so we've done that. And then I went home, first time being in first class. And then I got invited back to do the EXO Try Not to Laugh.
I remember when you were getting the train down, you said to me, "Is there seats on the train?" And I went, "What?" You went, like, on the train there are seats. And I went, "Yeah." And you went, "Is there actually?" I was like,
Yeah, because I'd only been used to metros, where you have to stand up the whole way. So
That's
I was
mental,
like,
bro.
I was like, oh, I'm going to have to stand up the whole way. And then I went and I actually thought on the way there I was in normal class, but I thought it was first class because of how posh it was. I literally was like, fucking hell, I've hit the jackpot here. And then I remember getting...
You're such a little pauper child, aren't you?
I remember on the way back, it was
Yeah.
first class and you get free sandwiches. Every time the woman went past, I got like 4 sandwiches. I brought it back for all yous. Dan had one and Carl had one. I don't know if you had one.
No, I think I moved out at that point.
Oh, had you? Oh, well, I remember there was like loads of
It's
sandwiches.
like Oliver Twist, but Geordie edition.
It was not that bad.
I don't know,
Have you got
mate.
any more?
Yeah, is it?
For my friend,
Please,
just come in.
madam.
Please, sir, can I have some more
He's just
chicken sandwiches?
I love first class and trains because it's just the exact same as normal class, but they just put like a little tip over the head of the seat. That's all it is.
It is the most glorified
I
thing.
know.
You pay like an extra like 20, 30
Just
quid
a
for
little
it.
tilt over the
If you
head.
actually break it down, like the cost of it, it's just like it's not worth it. What, free refill of teas and coffees, and then just some food.
Yeah. Well, I remember with Brian, he was like the first person that really like believed in us with YouTube. As cringy as that sounds, he was the first person that actually like said, "Look, you can actually do this." Because when you look at YouTube, let's be honest, when you look at the top of YouTube, it's not people generally from working class backgrounds. It's just
And
not.
most successful UK YouTubers have been around for time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
time.
It's always someone that is probably asked the mum for a camera for Christmas and they've got given it. Whereas for most people, at least in Newcastle, that's not an option. You can't ask for a fucking £700 camera or like, and you just can't. And so you have to, like, I remember I sold all my clothes to get a GoPro to
That's
start
mental.
filming, and then the GoPro broke on it, so I had to quit YouTube for 8 months.
But then again, I will play defense. You don't need, like, people will be like, "Oh, Lewis, I can't afford like a camera." I'm like, you don't.
Not now, but you did then.
Some people I know, I'm like, "Oh, I like your videos," and I find out that they use their phone to record. I'm like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So it proves how good the cameras on phones are
Yeah,
getting
now,
as well.
but it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
Like, you couldn't have like recorded like a whole like
you
hour
can't
video on
you
your
can't
phone.
record a video on like a Walkman kind of thing,
Yeah,
you know,
that
kind of thing.
or even like an iPhone 4 and stuff. It just wasn't really.
It was
there,
just
like-
shite.
Yeah, but going back, and after that, Brian was like the first person that actually said, "Look, you can actually do this."
You're getting a bit emotional again. You're like,
Just fucking love him, alright?
I love you, Brian.
I miss it so.
So I don't know if have you had that person that
No. No one's ever believed in me.
Oh.
No one ever.
okay.
Hmm.
Right. Are you okay, son?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay.
What about you?
I mean, I'd be lying.
No.
I'd be lying if I said that I'd be in a position without Ethan. You know, obviously, like, without him, I wouldn't have got Simon filming, and I wouldn't have got my first editing job. So I attribute everything to where I am right now because of him.
Everything though.
The reason how I got my foot in the door, was because of
Well, you
him.
found the door, but it's still down to you.
Oh, I've worked hard. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I give myself credit, but like the first person that believed me and put me forward was him.
Mhm.
So I mean, I've got nothing but respect for that. Like he said to me, he was just like, would you like to? He went on holiday once, and I said, do you want me to just take over a West Ham video? And he said, yeah, go for it. Just uploaded it, edited it, put it on his channel, and then his audience liked me and also liked the editing. And then he was just like, oh, it's good feedback. Would you like to edit a couple more? Started to do a couple more of them, and then that was it.
It's interesting all the different like ways we've got into YouTube.
Yeah, mine was purely from a friendship kind of thing, and then I got the chance to do the Sidemen Sunday.
Mine was purely just because I like uploading FIFA goals, and then I realised that I could probably do it as a job one day. So then I was like, oh shit, might as well keep going.
Well, did you know did you watch EXO? I know you only watched the videos I was seeing.
I did.
Did you know about it?
I knew about it 100%, but I mean, like for me, like I said, for YouTube stuff, and my content consumption is mainly. I used to be really into Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat.
Yeah, Peter McKinnon.
I can't remember the other guy. There's one other guy who I really liked. Yeah, that kind of things. Like where I like the nice, clean cut cameras, filming, different kind of editing styles. You know, whereas for the UK YouTube stuff, like outside of the Sidemen, like because obviously that became my friends and stuff. Outside of that, there was so many people I just didn't know. Like people are popping up left, right, and centre. I'm like, who the hell are these people? I didn't even know many people had more than 2 mil subs. Well, you know?
Yeah. Well, with EXO, I don't know if it. Like you said, to popping up, I probably was one of them people. I don't know if it is like a help or a hindrance. I still like think about that, whether it actually helped us on YouTube.
I think it probably helped get you into like a wide, kind of like a circle. But like, you know, when you get recognised a little bit, he used to be in that kind of thing. But then also in a way where you're talking about like a hindrance, it could have been like, for me, like when you build up an association with something else, it becomes. Maybe this is my own perception, but what's the word for it? Like deprecating. Where no, not the word. Just it can have an adverse effect on your image that you're trying to create for yourself.
Yeah.
So your association with EXO and how like you're not on it, whilst you like use the whole self-deprecating humor. If you were trying to build your own image, you kind of don't really want to be associated with the EXO kind of thing. If you know what I mean? The same way for me and with Ethan, like obviously. I don't want to be known as, you're just Ethan's editor or cameraman. I want to be like, I like your content, like the stuff that you do. That's what I appreciate, you know? Whereas I appreciate what you do for Ethan. I would appreciate you for you. Do you get what I mean?
That was one of the comments on the first podcast. It was like, the sidekicks have got a podcast.
I know, right? But that's what it is, like, you know?
Yeah, I get that though, because like even for example, like when I went home just the other day, I got recognised in the train. He's like, oh, you're Luis Buckingham. Yeah. It was like,
yes, it's me.
And then he was like, oh yeah, I've been like watching like Will and Alex and that for ages. And I was like, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, not me.
But also you do play into that because of the whole association you have with Alex. I don't know about Will, but do you get what I mean? But also but that's also what you get when you're with or you're paired next to someone who's considerably bigger, you know, like Alex is considerably bigger than what you are.
Yeah,
so if they've seen you, then they'll see him. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the same way as like you and EXO and then me and Ethan. It's not like an insult to them at all. But I mean, if you're trying to build your own platform kind of thing to get higher.
The most difficult thing is so people come to your channel for you, and I feel like I had that for so long, and now I feel like I do have it, but I think I never used to have to rely on titles, and now I do, and that's what made after EXO made us lose. Not just after EXO, but just lately, it's made us lose a little bit of confidence in myself. Whereas every other YouTuber has to rely on titles, but just because that's not how I grew, I think that's why I lost confidence. Do you know what I mean?
100%. I get that completely.
But then again, that's also a blessing. Like people were probably looking at your channel and went, I wish I could title my video with that, but I have to title it something else.
But now I don't think I could.
Like I'd love to title my stuff Mimi stuff, but it just wouldn't do well.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't do well. Unless it's fitting, but no, it wouldn't do well. I have to title it something serious even though I don't want to.
Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, it's just to get people to click on the video. The content can be anything.
Yeah.
100%.
I wanted to ask, I feel like I know what this could be, but I'm not going to put anything in your head. What would you say is your favourite ever moment on YouTube, like YouTube related in a sense?
Regarding me?
Yeah, like what's your favourite thing where you were like, fuck, I love this? Like,
I love this game.
I love this. Well, I remember... Wait, but there's two because...
Like it can be related, because I feel like you'd say Wembley Cup, like that's when you were like, oh fuck, I love this.
Yeah, because I remember watching the Wembley Cup 2 years in a row and being like, fucking hell, that was... I remember being in the change room next to Cafu when he's fucking
big dong, yeah.
And being like,
and you'd be like, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to be here, Cafu.
It's nice to meet you.
That was... I remember when there was like 7 pizzas on the in the change room.
It's just like so much food.
And I went
so much
up,
food.
I went up and I was like, Thogden was there. I gave Thogden a piece. I was giving like
Wembley Cup?
he wasn't playing, but he was in the stands, and I was giving handing out pieces to everyone. That was like
It was like you
that
on
was
the.
my favorite part. Though, the cup actually better than the football.
It was like you on the train with the sandwiches. You were just like, oh,
Yeah.
free pizza, guys, go on. You want a pizza? You want a pizza? You want a pizza?
You want a car? You want a car? No, I think the one that like not made it, but I was like, shit, this is fucking massive. Is when I was on an XO shoot. I was on the way to do XO vs Sidemen, and no disrespect to anyone in the Sidemen here, but I got told we're going to be filming with Ethan and Toby, and I was like, oh shit, like at the time I was like, shit, that's Ethan and Toby. I've watched these guys. Anyway, everyone, like all the XO lads got ready. I still was the last person to get ready, and I walked around the corner, and then I see fucking KSI, Mini Minter, like JME was there, like Vic.
Jamie's the first person that I ever met out this whole circle when I was starstruck. Like,
Really? Yeah.
yeah, because everyone else I just saw as regular people, but I just didn't think Jamie was real.
Yeah, like
kind of
people
thing.
that like actually normal people, but in the flesh.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing Calix, Calfreezy, Reeve. I'm trying to think, just like that group.
That whole group, yeah.
And that was when I stepped on there. I remember being like, fuck. But at the same time, had that imposter syndrome where I'm like, everybody here, apart from the XO lads, doesn't know us. Like, only one person came up to say hello, and that was Calix. Calix came up and like really made us feel welcome. He was like, "Oh, how are you doing? Are you okay?" Just asking us like questions. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I really appreciated that. And Cal Freezy talked to us when I talked to him. And like KSI, like if I went up to him and talked to him about, I think I just said, I don't know what I said, but he was like dead open. But
Didn't you said a joke and he didn't laugh?
I said something.
Or was that Harry? It was one of them. You said like a joke.
I think it was
and
Harry. No, that was Harry. I looked at he had like these pajama pants on that he was wearing. I went, "Oh, you get dressed in the dark this morning," and he went, "Oh, you just like fake laughs." I was like, "Oh, fuck it, I'll have never done that."
Yeah. Harry's not like that. He wouldn't.
But that was probably the moment where I'm like, "Shit, this is mental." But at the time, I didn't think it was. Like looking back now, I'm like, "Shit, I could have done so much with that." But I don't know. I just don't think I have that. Like, I don't know, that business.
But then again, like for example, do you know how you like no one came up to you and said hello? Do you also think that could be your fault of not going up and saying hello to them?
Definitely. But
because like
I'm not saying
it's like
anything.
when we go to play football every week. There'll be someone I don't know, and I'll be nervous to say hi to them, but I'll still go and be like, "Oh, hi, boys," just because I don't want to seem rude.
Well, it was just because I walked on the pitch and all of the sidemen were in like at Shoreditch, were in like the top left corner, like together, and me being like just 100k subs, whatever. I was like, oh god, they just don't want to talk to me. So I just went over there where Cal Freezy and Calix was. The shit. What? I'm joking.
Oh my god.
No, including me. The shit was.
Yeah.
Just not anyone that's not on the sidemen. So I think I don't know. I'm not saying bad things because I didn't talk to most of them. But I don't know.
It's not just like the sidemen, but just, there's even like small YouTubers, like for example, someone like Touch the Light. I just couldn't imagine him being like a real person until I seen him. There's so many YouTubers I just can't imagine being like real people until you see them, and when you see them, even Will was kind of like that for me. I was like, I couldn't imagine like just. Same with George. I'm like, I can't imagine them being real people.
Same with everybody.
Can't imagine him without a mask. You're like, what the
Well,
hell?
obviously, with him that's a bit
Yeah.
different. But there's so many YouTubers. Like, you know, you watch them and you're like, I can't imagine you. Same with celebrities.
I don't know. For me, it was a little bit different than that. Jamie was the first one, but I mean, I never watched. I think I remember
Probably
watching.
Didn't watch them. As
Yeah,
such.
exactly. I didn't really. I saw some KSI videos when I was at school, but that was it. Really, I didn't know who any of the other Sidemen boys were until they came in the club, and then I did my research after because I just started chatting to them behind the bar. I was like, "Oh, you actually make videos, cool." And it was very genuine, you know.
Was Jamie good to you when you met him?
Jamie's probably one of the nicest, soundest guys you'll meet. Like, he's so real.
Yeah, I was having like a mini asthma attack, and he was coming over. He was like saying, "Oh, I've got asthma. Do this," and I was like, "Oh, thanks, mate."
You've cured me. Thanks, mate. Man does care. Okay,
asthma, man don't care about that.
Fuck's sake.
I think
I got one question.
Yeah.
I want to see, like, we spoke about some content. We spoke about where your goals and stuff like lie, where you want to think about it. But I kind of want to know if you just say, like, just now, where would you see a goal for you in the future? What's a short term and a long term goal?
So my long-term goal is to have my ultimate goal, which I've said from the start, is to have a special, like an hour stand-up special. I said Netflix, but Netflix is a big one. Maybe Amazon, I think, is more achievable.
Netflix might not even be the like
that's
go-to
what I
thing
mean.
in like 5 years time.
That's what I mean. It's like just wherever is the
whatever the money's at, am I right?
But that would be my achievement of have that. I think it's past YouTube. My goal is not to have like a Mr. Beast thing where I've got 25. That's not my goal. I don't want 25 million. If it
I mean,
came,
yeah. Would you like 25? Nah.
Well, that's kind of what.
Oh,
do you not remember Alfie Days on True Geordie's podcast? He was saying like the perfect sub count he felt for him was like 300k because it's like the perfect like notoriety level. Because when it gets too much, it's like.
But I just feel like I need to keep moving forward. If I hit 1 million subs at that point, I would be like, okay, let's keep going. But now I'd have another goal. Yeah. There's another goal.
Oh, because you're never content. Yeah. You always, what's the next? What's the next? You know.
I couldn't be Mr. Beast, and I respect Mr. Beast so much, but that's just not me.
I feel like 1 million subs is probably the only way where I'd feel like I've made it somewhat. Like I still feel like the subs that I've got now is like fuck all. I still feel like
it's still small in the grand scheme.
Facts.
Well, I've got a fraction of you.
You're right. It is fucking nothing.
It is in the grand scheme of things. It isn't.
It's big from where you're from.
100%. Like, dude, like people say to me, like, how many subscribers you got? I was like 66. I was like, out of any friend that I've got here, it is the smallest by far. Like, I don't sit there and think, oh, great, 66. Yeah. How are you on now?
Like,
what are you on now?
Like 175.
And you 200. Yeah. So I mean, like you always set like the next goal. You're never content with what you want to get. Like when I say like, if I look at what I've got and I'm on 60 or so, then you guys are on your numbers that you were on. If you're comparing yourself to other people, and it's hard not to, but you don't value yourself by that. It's about where you want to go from there. Like, it's always going to be the next goal, isn't it?
Well, that's why people are successful, because they're never satisfied. People are never satisfied with what they've got. Whether it's, I'm not just talking about YouTube. I'm talking about people. In general. They get a promotion in job. They're like, oh shit, let's get up. Let's keep on going. They want to see how hard. The same with like going to the gym, getting bigger. Like, that's not big enough. You want to see how much. It's like a natural human thing, just to see how much you can push yourself. Do
you think a part of that's slightly depressing? You know,
of course it is. You're never happy.
You know when you were saying about back in the council house, it was like when you're at your happiest kind of thing because you set that goal. But if you thought about it right then, if you sat down in your room then at that point and you thought in like a year and a half or so from now, I'm going to be in a penthouse in London with my own podcast room, which has done 1 million views in the first month, would you sit there and think, oh crap, I'm going to be sad when I'm there? Not that you're sad now, but you probably would feel like you'd be happier back then than what you are now, because you always set that goal. It's like you're chasing something which when you get it, you're not going to be as happy as what you think you're going to get. And I think that's quite sad.
It's a really good point because it's
we were talking about it the other week, weren't we, me and you?
Yeah, it's if you said, like you said, the exact same thing. If you said a year and a half ago or whatever, you'll be there in a year and a half. I would be like, I'll be the happiest guy ever. And I am happy, but you'd expect to be happier. But it's because when you get there, you're like, right, okay, I'm going to go, I want this. Whereas you forget to think like, oh, well, you've come from here. What in relating back to the question, short term,
yes.
In the next 6 weeks before Christmas, all I want to focus on, just nothing how the channel's doing, just getting it to a point where it's just, I'll be uploading twice a week what I want to do. Not like what I'll do well once every 2 weeks. Just twice a week what I want to do.
What's the next video then?
Not going to say that.
No?
But it's the start of a new series.
Okay.
And then we've got a video with views too, which is also the start of a new series. I fucking love a series.
He loves a series.
We're going to do it?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a promise on
Corona.
Oh, can I have a proper one? Oh, that's okay. Fine, that was a bit weird.
Is that the end?
Your hands are wet.
I guess sweaty hands.
There's it. We can conclude that.
Well, this is not the end because if you go over to Spotify right now,
shit, yeah,
we will have an audio only of us answering your problems, won't we, guys?
And there's a lot of problems.
Indeed,
there's a lot of problems.
So where if you are going to be sending in your questions, which you'd like our advice, and you'd like to be included in next week's podcast, where should they send their email to?
It's actually a brand new email now. I made one today. It's actually,
love that.
We've got our own little app now, so things are
little
getting fancy.
We're quite big on the YouTube, guys.
Every week we're growing, baby.
We've got life advice at antisocialpodcast.co.uk. There you go.
Thank you very much for joining the Kirkham special. Nobody's going to watch this far.
Of course you are. We hope you did enjoy it, and we hope to see you over On Spotify
on
also
audio,
soon.
Yeah, give us 5 stars on iTunes and follow the Spotify and podcast so you get reminded.
Can we all blow a kiss?
Suck my
Why would you do that?
I just want to blow a kiss.
Yeah, shall I get off on webcam again?
Fuck off, Lewis!